what's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's Flight of Icarus again with MetalTrenches.com, and I was getting up to start my day, and wouldn't you know it, we've got a new track from the Lion's Daughter called Neon Teeth, so we're going to watch and review it. And hey, if you like to be kept up to date with the best and brightest metal bands and albums from the underground and above, then stick with me by hitting that subscribe button down below. Alright. I loved Existence is Horror. Got me into these guys. Hell yeah, love that synth line. And I was gonna say, the last album, I was very intrigued by. I loved the kind of, they put some like Giallo horror kind of influence into it, and it was a little bit hit and miss overall as an album, but I was very intrigued to see where they would go with this, so thus my excitement. And I'm hearing that kind of, if you don't know Giallo horror, it's those like Italian slashers, like super gory stuff. Dario Argento, all that. Suspiria, probably the most famous one. Yeah, it's interesting to have the heavy sludge sounds with those like horror movie synths. Also maybe a little bit of like John Carpenter. No matter what, they've carved out a pretty unique niche for themselves. Like, I can't think of another band that's really doing this. Those drums too. That floor tom. Dum, 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 dum. The only issue I've had with them and their newer stuff is it does start to feel a little bit repetitive. So, compositionally, that's where I'd like to see them step up a little bit. Even the cover kind of reminds me of Exorcist 3, the like nurse wrapped in bandages with the giant scissor things. I like this little guitar part here. I should consider doing an interview with these guys. I'd be very interested to hear kind of what initially sent them in this direction. Because again, it's a very just unusual direction for what was originally just kind of like a sludge band to go. This part's kind of cool. It's a little different. Need more seizure warnings. Ooh. Ooh, I really like that synth. More of like a Silent Hill vibe on that one. It's like eerily peaceful, despite being pretty chaotic at this point too. Ooh. They're dragging out the ending a little bit too long, I would say. I would have gone with just like a doo-doo, and that's it. Yeah, cut it off a little bit sooner. Again, that is The Lion's Daughter with Neon Teeth. I'm going to jump for my scales right into musicianship because I'm already kind of talking about it. I think that's, again, still the area I'd like to see a little bit more growth for this band is just compositionally. Like, there's some really cool elements that they're pulling in, but I don't feel like they're implemented as well as they could be. So I'm going to give them kind of like an 8 on that front because, again, it is like there's some cool performances going on. I love those synths, but it's like trim this part here, add a little bit of something something here, and it would be a lot more engaging and interesting, I think. Maybe that's just me. You can argue with me down in the comments by all means. In terms of enjoyability, you can give that about an 8 as well for that. I enjoyed it above average. Really interested to see what the rest of the album sounds like, but still, again, it leaves me wanting. It leaves me wanting just a little bit more on that front. And then in terms of innovation, I give him an 8 for that too. I give him that extra point because, again, like there's very few, if any, other bands that kind of sound like that. I could potentially even give them a 9 in that realm, but yeah, I love the kind of like horror movie meets sludge concept of this. It's just tighten up that songwriting a little bit. So I think overall we're looking at like a B minus for this track. And yeah, the album is actually called Skin Show. Love that title too, by the way. And it comes out in April. But yeah, let me know down in the comments, what did you think of this track? Have you listened to The Lion's Daughter before, or is this your first time? Let's have a conversation about that. And hey, stick around because I got plenty more videos coming right after this one. Not only these track reviews, but also full album reviews, album tier lists, interviews with bands on the podcast. You name it, we've got it. So plenty of reasons to subscribe if you have not already. Also chat with us on Discord and support on Patreon. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.